to talk to you about cyberbullying. Every year in the United States, 4,500 kids commit suicide due to being cyberbullied. In addition to those 4,500 children who take their own lives, 20% of these children who are cyberbullied contemplate suicide, with 1 in 10 attempting suicide. Today I'd like to share with you how we can all become better aware of cyberbullying and how the school systems can help hold kids accountable for their actions when off school grounds. This starts with educating our children at home to help eliminate a percentage of cyberbullying that takes place daily. Teaching our children not to respond to cyberbullying, as hard as it may be, not to defend ourselves, and making them aware that it only fuels to the fire. Keeping family computers in a common area that can be monitored, and also if the child has a cell phone, monitoring what that child does on their cell phone. Sit down with your children and explain to them that you trust them and that you only need their password to use in case of emergencies when necessary. Also, having access to social media accounts as well as access to your child's phone anytime you deem necessary to monitor what your child is doing. Having passwords along with knowing what they're doing on social media and with whom makes it easier to monitor what your children are doing and knowing if they are being cyberbullied, because majority of children report that even if they are cyberbullied, they do not tell their parents. It is also important that every family has specific as well as detailed rules set into place if and when cyberbullying shall occur. Advise your kids to never give out personal information online, phone number, address, anything of that nature. Also be very clear as to which sites they are allowed to visit and which sites they are not to go to. Sit down with them to explain the importance of using good judgment about what they should and should not post. Posting embarrassing pics or photos of themselves could hurt themselves and allow others to share those with other people online. Also explain to them that it is never okay to post embarrassing pictures or mean posts about anybody else. Explain to them also that once something is posted on the internet, it is there forever and you cannot get it taken away. Raising children of my own, I can attest to the fact that children are like sponges. More often than not, if they are around negative behavior, they will learn such behavior, which is why it is important for us adults to lead by example. I would like to share a story with you about a little girl named Megan Meyer. Megan Meyer was an outgoing, loving, and friendly girl who was loved by many. Tina, Megan's mom, banned her from MySpace after learning that her and her friend Dawn created a fake page to talk to boys easier. With Megan's 14th birthday approaching, she begged her mom for a second chance. As with all social media accounts, MySpace had rules and regulations that were easy to bypass. As reluctant as her mother was, she agreed under the rules that she and Megan's dad were the only ones that were going to have the password and monitor her closely. A little background on Megan. For years, Megan was heavy and struggled to lose weight. She also had attention deficit disorder and battled with depression. Megan was just starting the 8th grade and everything was going well. She had shed 20 pounds and recently ended an on-again, off-again relationship with her friend Dawn. Around this time, Megan received a friend request from a boy named Josh. Megan pleaded with her mother to accept the friend request. Her mother gave her permission, and over the next 6 weeks, and the constant supervision of her mom, the two became virtually acquainted with one another. On October 15, 2006, Megan received a devastating message from Josh that read, "I don't know if I want to be friends with you anymore because I've heard you're not very nice to your friends." Megan frantically responded with, "What are you talking about?" The next day after school, Megan asked her mom to check her messages. Her mom was crunched for time as she had to get her youngest to an orthodontist appointment and quickly logged in for Megan to check her messages. She knew her daughter was upset, yet she still had to leave, so she told her daughter to make it quick and to sign off. Once she got to the doctor's office, she called Megan to see if she had signed off yet, and her daughter was very upset and told her that all of the kids were talking mean to her. Her mother again then told her she needed to sign off of the site and hung up with her daughter. 15 minutes later, Megan called back crying, telling her that everybody was still being mean and calling her names. Her mother hurried home as soon as the appointment was over and ran downstairs to find her daughter crying at the computer and firing back at those who were making fun of her. Her mom quickly logged out for her and told her how upset she was that she was playing along with the cyberbullying. Megan ran upstairs to her room crying, yelling at her mom that she should be on her side and that she was her mom. Tina and her husband Ron were in the kitchen making dinner not 20 minutes later when her mother had a god-awful feeling that came over her. She ran upstairs and found Megan in her room hanging in her closet. The next day, Megan was dead just weeks before her 14th birthday. 6 weeks after their daughter's death, they received a call from a neighbor insisting they meet. The neighbor explained that the page of Josh's was fake and made up by Megan's ex-friend Dawn's parents, who had also given the password to kids and told them to keep it a secret.
The parents?
The parents. The adults in this tragic accident were not only the ones being the bullies, but also inviting Megan's classmates to join in. These parents were teaching their daughter, along with others, that it's okay to say hurtful things. No charges or punishment ever came of this senseless act. Cyberbullying also affects the academics with those who are being bullied. Kids who are cyberbullied are less likely to attend school, and with those not attending school, their grades start to drop, which make them feel even worse than they already do. I believe with a little less technology and a little more traditional interaction, we have a chance to reduce the amount of cyberbullying that takes place today. Technology has taken away from traditional encounters with an increase in technology. Children learn by looking and listening to what their loved ones say and do. When majority of what a child notices about the world comes from a small screen where only a shallow representation is available, children do not have a lot to mimic. Due to the advances in technology, children are having a harder time showing empathy for others, as well as struggling to look someone in the eyes when having a conversation, or even holding a conversation in general at that. The amount of teens on social media is growing in numbers daily. 24% of teens report being online constantly. 92% of teens report going online daily. According to a study done by Pew Research Center, 57% of teens ages 13 through 17 go online several times a day, 12% once a day, 6% weekly, 2% less than weekly. Majority of these numbers are due to the fact that 3/4 of teens have smartphones that give them the access to the internet any time of the day. Cyberbullying can be a number of things. Sending inappropriate messages or threatening messages over text messaging, email, social media, as well as anything else that has to do with technology. Spreading rumors on social media sites or school sites, taking unflattering pictures of others and sending them to other people and posting about them. 10 to 20% of kids experience cyberbullying regularly. Cyberbullying affects all races, genders, and ages. Cyberbullying has become the most popular form of cyberbullying due to teens saying that it's easy to get away with, and majority of the time they don't know who it's coming from. Now imagine these children who seek out the help from adults when being bullied, only to told there's not much that adult can do. Our school systems have little to no rules when it comes to being cyberbullied. The Anti-Defamation League indicates that 44 states have bullying statutes on books. Although this sounds encouraging, the organization also found that less than half of these states provide guidelines about when it's appropriate for schools to intervene and when to intervene in cyberbullying situations. Some states and schools prohibit off-campus cyberbullying as to where other schools have yet to develop guidelines to help teachers enforce and address the issue. Nebraska has no definition laws on bullying, what is bullying and what is not. They have no reporting laws, no investigation laws, no written records, mental health training, preventions, monitoring, legal remedies, or anything of that nature. So basically, we're telling these kids they can get in trouble for cyberbullying, but have yet to teach them the importance of not doing it. What is considered bullying? Do not monitor for it and cannot have legal repercussions. I believe that our school systems can put into place bullying classes to teach children the importance of not bullying others, what is considered bullying, and the repercussions of their actions. It's also important to educate our children inside the school systems, because more times parents are coming to the teachers and looking for help because while their children are being bullied outside of school, when they go to school, it's a lot worse for them. And the teachers, they have no training and they don't know how to handle these situations, which is why majority of the time they go unpunished. Inside of schools, we need to teach children that it's never okay to bully a person or to cyberbully another person. Truly make them understand the effects their words can have on another person. Monitor school computer usage at all times. Have filters on the computers that children do use inside of school. Emphasize that telling when being bullied is not considered tattling. Teach them who is a safe person to go to when they have a problem. One of the many jobs that teachers and other school faculty have is to provide a safe learning environment. If children do not feel safe coming to school, the school system is failing them. We must do more as a whole to provide all children a safe and fun environment when they go to school. With the suicide rates climbing amongst children, it's imperative that we as a community continue to change the way our school system handles cyberbullying. With cyberbullying becoming more and more popular, these children cannot go home to a safe environment without the threat of being bullied over the internet or when using their cell phones. Young children are very impressionable. If we as adults cannot set a good example as how to treat one another, this vicious cycle will continue and be even harder to break later. With that being said, it's important to start educating children at home as well as inside of the school walls. Let's push for better education within school hours. Let's implement harsher punishment for those who are guilty, and most importantly, let's make school a fun and safe learning environment.